Hi everyone, it's me, your girl Ine Duke from Late Night Vibes with Ine and CC. So, I want to make this video because I'm curious. I really want an answer to this question. And the question I want an answer to is, can a man genuinely love two or more women? 100%. Genuinely. So he's married to two or more women. Can he genuinely love them? So even if one is stubborn or not or whatever, can he genuinely love two or more women equally? We made a video and it's on our platform, Late Night Vibes with Ine and CC, and that video is titled, "Are men naturally polygamous? Is it a nature, culture, or just an excuse?" So I was reading the Bible, I was doing my Bible studies, and then, of course, Bible scholars will know the story of Jacob and Esau and how the mother Rebecca made Jacob to deceive the father. So part of what she did. Then Jacob deceived their dad and then took Esau's blessing. Esau, who was the eldest son. So the father blessed Esau. So you all know the story in Genesis chapter 28, right? So right now, I was thinking about, so then, of course, Esau wasn't happy. So he planned to kill Jacob. And then their mother got wind of that. And then she told Jacob to run to Aram. Jacob ran. Of course, the father blessed him again, and then he ran to Laban. And eventually, long story short, Bible scholars know the story. Eventually, he saw Rachel, the daughter, the youngest daughter of his uncle Laban. He met her while she was going to feed the flocks and all of that. So that's the story. I just want to go into the details of that. He told her that he is Jacob, her father's brother. Exactly, her father's brother. So then she ran to Laban, her dad, and was like, daddy, that's what would have been like. Oh, daddy, my uncle is here, Jacob. He said, I saw this man. My uncle, he said, he's your brother, is your sister's brother, and he's there. So eventually, long story short, Jacob went and stayed with them. And then Jacob was serving Laban, and then Laban was like, what do I pay you for serving? Name your wage for serving me so I can pay you. Because you're my sister's son doesn't mean that you have to live in my house you have to serve me for free. Name your wages. So I'm going somewhere. And then Jacob said, I want your youngest daughter. And then Laban was like, yeah, instead of me giving her to other men, instead of her, other men having her, I'd rather you have her. So you marry her, So, and then, but you have to serve me for 7 years. So apparently, Jacob served Laban for 7 years. And when it got to the time and he was like, where is my wife? Let me go into her, my woman. So they did all the feast and all of that. And then he went into, so the father now, of course, remember that the mother plotted with him and then they deceived their dad Isaac, and then Isaac deceived him and then blessed him. So he too now got deceived by his uncle, and then his uncle, instead of giving him Rachel, the younger daughter, then the uncle gave him the eldest daughter, who is Leah, to sleep with. So he didn't even know. So he went into her in the night, and then in the morning, and then they also gave her Zilpah to go with, as the maid. So then in the morning, he realized that it was Leah that he slept with. And he was like, why did you deceive me? I worked for Rachel. I wanted Rachel. Why did you give me Leah? And then the uncle said, Uncle, sir, in this part of our world, we don't behave like that. We don't give the eldest. We don't give out the youngest first. It has to be the eldest that will go first. So, and then he had to say, so if you want that, then he said, okay, he's going to serve Rachel because it's Rachel that he likes. Of course, the Bible says Leah's got weak eyes. We don't know what that means. And then Rachel was very pretty, so he liked her. And then he had to serve the uncle again for another 7 years. He had to serve Laban for another 7 years. And then eventually, when he completed that, they gave him Rachel. So he had 2 wives. That's the story. So can a man genuinely love 2 women, 2 or more women at the same time? So where am I going to? So apparently he's always liked Rachel more than Leah, even though Leah then later bore him 4 sons. Of course, she bore him Reuben, Levi, Judah, Simeon, 4 sons. And then Rachel was barren. Rachel didn't have any child at that point, but at some point, as the Bible story unfolds, she gave birth to Joseph and all of that. So, but then Leah gave birth to 4 sons, thinking that because she's had 4 sons, Jacob will still love her. Apparently, no, he did not still. So he still preferred the Rachel more than her. I still like Rachel more than her, And she knew that of course, in the Bible, he said that she was hated. So she knew that he didn't like her. So then as I just reflected, and then I pondered, and I went to the video we made, which was, are men naturally polygamous? Nature, culture, or excuse? Because looking at the Bible story, Jacob actually wanted Rachel, but then circumstances made him have Leah, right? So some men generally might want another woman, but circumstances, like Stanley said in the video, one of the guests said, if you go to Late Night Vibes on Ini and Sisi, you will see the video I'm talking about. Stanley made reference to something like, he said something that if the other woman, they bust your pimple, if the other woman is treating you well, if you're taking peace, if you're being treated nicely by another woman outside, instead of cheating, speak to your wife and then bring her in as a second wife or thereabout, So, of course, circumstances made him to now have two wives. And as the Bible said, he also have Bilhah, Zilpah, the maid as well. They also, because when they give them their wife, then they also accompany them with their maid. They give them a maid as well. So, of course, she had Zilpah. Leah was for Zilpah. Leah, when Leah first went, they gave her Zilpah as the maid to go with, to help her. And then when he eventually got into Rachel, then they also give her Bilhah. I'm not a Bible scholar 100%, please. So this is why I know. So if I'm making any mistakes, just correct me. But the question is, and as the story unfolds, he also went into these maids because Rachel didn't have a child. So Rachel agreed. She said, sleep with my maid so that she can bear you children, consent. We also spoke about it. If you watch the Late Night Vibes with, are men naturally polygamous? They also said it. Polygamy, of course, we know that in some culture is acceptable and all of that one. So he said, okay, he also slept with her. So, so now apparently he would have had 4 women, kind of. Of course, then he was married to 2 of them, Leah and Rachel. But he really preferred Rachel more than Leah. So my question to you guys is, can a man genuinely, 100% love 2 women at the same time if he's married to 2, 3, 4 of them? Answer, please go into the comment section and leave your comment, because I'm asking out of curiosity. I just want to know, because I was reading, when I was studying the Bible, that came and I was like, we just touched on this story last week and it's on our channel now. So I just want to know. Just curiosity. I just want to know. Thank you so much for your response, and I really appreciate you all. Thank you and see you soon. Bye.